Kone has been in business for more than 110 years. Today, we celebrate the trust of over 500,000 customers, an installed base of more than 1.4 million units, and a dedicated team of 60,000 employees around the world. But we are not here today to talk about our solutions. We are here to talk about the possibilities for the future of our cities. We will first hear from our President and CEO, Henrik Ehrnrooth, on how Kone brings new thinking and ideas to help improve the quality of life in urban cities. Let us now welcome to the stage President and CEO of Kone, Henrik Ehrnrooth.
But today, as we heard, we're going to talk about what smart and sustainable cities mean. That's what we are working a lot with at Kone, because we know that if we can help our customers improve the intelligence, the sustainability of buildings and urban life, then we can contribute to a much better cities. And we say we have a clear mission at Kone. We say it's to improve the flow of urban life, because we know that more and more people in the world live in urban cities. And to make them sustainable, we also need to make them better places to live. And we want to do it by understanding how people flow works in and between buildings. Really how humans are interacting, how they're working. And then we can predict before things happen. That means that we can improve the longevity of products. We can plan in future to do the right things and not do them reactively. What's actually also quite interesting is that, I don't know if you've seen, but we now have, with the Financial Times, a collaboration where, because we have so many connected units, we are showing how people are moving around in cities. We're looking at that based on number of elevator starts. And latest data I looked at, I think there was actually a few very interesting things. First, most countries are coming back to, let's say, 90% of pre-pandemic levels, how elevators are used in buildings. But what is interesting, what was at 100% compared to pre-pandemic? It's retail. People tell us that retail is dead. Our data shows something different. So it's actually quite interesting.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for coming here, distinguished guest, ladies and gentlemen. It's very nice to see you during these hours. So I'll be short, but I mean, before I, share with you our region, a year ago, I was in the sustainability sectors and I was looking at, this is the mobility pavilion. So I said, okay, in the mobility, I was looking at some mobility sectors. I said, okay, can I look at a transport company that, have done something massive in terms of reducing the energy consumptions using, people. So I'm looking for a company like Tesla, for example. And I found a company that has about 1.5 million car in the market. 1 billion people are using it on a daily basis. And then I also look at that car that use roughly about 90% less energy than it used to be in 20, 30 years ago. And you can also recycle the materials 90%. You don't have to drive that car. You can call that car. And actually, you can send robots inside that car, and that car will go to the hospital and stuff like that. So that startup company was quite intriguing for me. And that 100-year-old startup company is Kone. So if you think about it, that's what we do. We move 1 billion people. It's fully automated. Perspective, when we talk about, my friend will talk about future, but I think it's here. So with that, I just like to go ahead and share with you. So in Kone, when we talk about sustainability as our key enabler, we talk about we support customer in accessibility, environment, health and safety, because this is the sort of product that we, the accessibility to they are highly connected, highly literate, and one of the highest penetration, as you know here, of the digitalization in this region. Sustainable roadmap. If you look at the urbanization and the sustainability, in the cities, roughly worldwide basis, 70% of the total energy is consumed inside the city. And if you look at the construction material, 40% of them are responsible for greenhouse gases. So, and if you look at in our region, I mean, I've looked at a study, in the 40% of the energy that is consumed by the buildings, and the people who work inside the building, they're actually 30% efficient. What does it mean? The other people are 70% of the time, they look for tools, they look for the flow, how do they construct those things? At Kone, we have a solution, as you will see, that, for example, jump lift and other, that can reduce the time of constructing, hence has an impact on the, in the urbanization.
Our goal continues to be to develop with you, our partners, cities that are more innovative, more sustainable, smarter, and more connected. New technologies give us a great opportunity to learn new ways of working and serve our customers and users in smarter and more exciting ways. Let's envision together the future of our cities from the perspectives of technology and sustainability with our panel discussion up next. Let us welcome to the stage our panelists, Ali Ben Fatoum, Jérôme Glenn, Satu Virkonen, Tero Hottinen, and our moderator, Tariq Qureshi.
You know, whenever I start, I'm a futurist, as Lemia mentioned. Whenever I start my presentation, the first and the most important word for the future is what? Any ideas? What is the most important word for the future? Anything? Sir? Sustainability. Sustainability is really important, even more than that. Anybody else? The most important word in the future is the word trust. If we don't have trust, nothing works. Today, it's at a premium more than ever before. So the building of trust is one of the critical things that Kone does when it presents its solution. Trust is number one. Very closely followed by truth and ethics. We don't even know what truth is today because of all of the stuff going on around us. And without ethics, nothing will actually work. AI will be a very, very nasty place to be if you're not sure on the ethics. And closely followed by empathy and values.
So, Ali Ben Fatoum, I am an IoT and smart city specialist at Amazon Web Services, and I support all customers in Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And the rest of it is on the screen, so I won't repeat it.
I've got 20 plus years experience from the industrial manufacturing and supply chain topics, and sustainability today, one of the key words, definitely in the core of my expertise. So leading a team of material engineers and material specialists that are looking into making sure that we keep our sustainability leadership in our solutions, but also how do we connect with ecosystem partners? How do we make the city smarter and so on? That's sort of in what we do in R&D today.
Dr. Jérôme Glenn, he is the CEO of the Millennium Project, and it does say that you are one of the world's leading scenario and
He exaggerates.
Actually, he is very modest. Actually, he is one of the greatest futurists in the world today. Very privileged to have him. Jérôme.
It's only because I've been doing it for so long. The Millennium Project is a global participatory think tank whose purpose is to help us think better about the future. And we have done 56 futures research studies, and I won't bore you with all the rest of it, but I've earned some gray hair thinking about the future. And to summarize real quickly, we're winning more than we're losing, but where we're losing is very serious. So I like the optimism that was just said.
Yeah, hi all. A great start. I'm Tero from Kone, the digital guy, even though I am not wearing a hoodie. I quite often do. Having a rather long background in industrial setting, digital strategy and business development, and even though I do have also an engineering background, I am not passionate about technology. I'm passionate how it enables us to help people in their daily problems, so making the world a better place.
What is the utility that you provide the people? Part of it has been answered, people flow, but Satu, can you please pick that one up and take us through what does people flow mean, and what does sustainable people flow actually mean?
Okay, so from the perspective of what Henrik also was mentioning in his speech, that how do we utilize data to understand how people are moving within buildings, but also in between the buildings, and then creating solutions to help as a sort of best people flow experience for anyone going in through, coming from the metro to a shopping mall or to your apartment building and so on. So looking at all aspects of that journey. And then sustainable people flow, making sure that also our equipment are manufactured most sustainable manner, and then also providing the data of how using our equipment is more sustainable than what it used to be.
How do you see, because you say you're passionate about, delivering those value-added services to people, what are those key elements that you feel that Kone is delivering to them in this particular scenario?
Yeah, I think maybe starting with Kone definitely is not the only one delivering those added values for the end users. We are part of the game, but it requires like a huge ecosystem of different players. So I think it's about how we can be part of that larger picture and really kind of maybe exactly what Henrik said on this sustainability being also like inclusiveness and accessibility, and maybe even taking a step further that how we can utilize these solutions as a means to drill deeper into psychological human needs of like feeling like belonging to the community and helping those. Yeah, I know I'm not now answering what you asked, but we are definitely part of that, and people flow is definitely part of that, making the life of people on everyday life routines much more easier, and we are part of that game.
A city is like a living, breathing, connected organism. Can you give us your assessment and the scenario planning work and all the things that you've done with smart cities? How do you see a city coming together? What is the heartbeat of that city?
Well, I think what we're doing is we're creating the autonomic nervous system of civilization. We all have an autonomic nervous system in our bodies, right? We have our digestive system, a heartbeat. All that stuff is running us. If we did not have that, we wouldn't be here. We don't want to pay attention to heartbeat. We don't want to pay attention to how much acid should be in our, we don't want to pay attention to all that. Well, think of a city in the same way. What is all the stuff you really don't want to have to pay attention to that you can automate with artificial intelligence and Internet of Things, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera?
I saw a data point up there, 1 billion people on a daily basis. That's almost social media kind of environment, 1 billion connections per day. And a lot of data is gathered from there. How can you utilize that and create something meaningful out of it, which actually, how many people in this audience are partners for the organization? Any partners? A few. This would be very interesting and relevant for you because they provide this data and this visualization of that data. What do you get out of that, sir?
Yeah, so we at AWS provide plus 200 services to help you aggregate data at scale. But I would like to rewind a little bit and start with the mission, because this is important. So what is the primary mission of a territory or a city? I prefer to call it territory because I think it's more general. The main primary mission is to deliver a good quality of life to their residents. And how do they do it? They do it by achieving some outcomes. For example, reducing the average time of commuting or improving the air quality. And being smart is all about taking right decisions. And how do you take right decision? By getting information. And that will be linked with Gutenberg, because it's all about how you actually store the information, how you provide a way to share the information, to collect the information. And data is critical. You mentioned 1 billion of people. That's a lot of data. But data is like raw material, right? If you don't extract any insight, data is not valuable. So you can have a lot of data. And to take also informed decision, data can't be considered as silos. Because, for example, let's say you want to change a two-way street into a one-way street in a city. If you are only looking at the traffic aspect, you are missing a lot of things because your decision can have an impact on the air quality, on the noise level, on the development of the businesses around the street. So you need to have a holistic view. And that's how you need to break data silos. So there are mainly two aspects. How you break data silos, and of course being able to ingest data at scale is important, and how you are interoperable and how you are able to get data from different sources of data.
Thank you very much indeed to the panel. Thank you for the audience. Thanks for your participation, all the questions. And thank you, Hendrik, for your wonderful hospitality. Thank you. Big hand for the people.